What's up, y'all? It's Crocodile Cam. In this video, I'm going to introduce you guys to all of the animals that I get to work with on a daily and personal basis. But first, I'm going to show you guys the different tools that I use to both safely and properly handle and work with these animals. We'll start from my right and move to the left. Here we have a small snake hook that can be extended and compressed. I use this for smaller snakes, namely my timber rattlesnakes. When I get to work with them, I am trying to be hands-on, but because they're a little bit smaller, I use this at a distance to keep them from turning around and biting me and to keep them from feeling too stressed out from being handled or worked with. Next, we have a slightly larger, again, extendable and compressible snake hook. I will use this for most of my snakes because they are all around that medium size. And whenever I'm working with them, this is a great way to keep them away from me if they haven't been socialized properly, or if I just don't want to stress them out too much in any situation. We have a larger snake hook that you'll have to twist to extend like this, and then you put it back to tighten it. This one can extend pretty far, and I will usually use this one when I go out into the wild and I'm in the field working with a number of potentially larger snakes. I've had to use this with large bull snakes, a few large rattlesnakes as well, and it has been literally a lifesaver. If you're ever going to want to work with snakes in any capacity, whether they've been socialized or not, I highly recommend getting a snake hook. It is a perfect way to gain the snake's trust. It's a great way to start getting more comfortable working with a snake, especially if you haven't worked with one or if you're a little bit nervous. Next, we have a snake grabber. This one can extend as well, and I use this predominantly when working with hot snakes. That is terminology that means venomous snakes. It keeps them at a distance, and I can safely grab them without hurting them or putting myself at risk. Lastly, we have what I call my sponge sticks. I will use that when I'm working with my rattlesnakes. If they're being really loud, I'll just place this on their rattle, and that'll quiet them down. But with rattlesnakes or venomous snakes in general, you can use this if you ever have to force feed them. It keeps you from potentially getting bitten, and it also doesn't hurt the snake. It can stress them out a little bit, but it will save their life. So what you'll do is you'll press down on their head. Their head will be out here on the other side, and that is how you can help force feed them. These are the tools that I use. Now let's start working with the snakes. What's up, you guys? So this first snake, I'm actually not going to need a hook for. It is a non-venomous and socialized snake. So I'd like you guys to take a closer look and try to guess what it is before I tell you. Beautiful snake. Not very big though, huh? So this snake here is a glossy snake. Scientific name is Arizona elegans. They're native to the western part of the United States. This one was found here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and it was actually given to me. This girl's father found it in their house. He was going to kill it. She was able to catch it and give it to me, knowing what I do. Because it's winter, I didn't want to release it into the wild, so I brought it in and I've been caring for it. It has begun eating, and it has done a great job with the socialization work that I've been doing. Let's see, show you guys up close. And this one doesn't have a name yet, so if you have any name ideas, drop them in the comments below. What's up, y'all? It's Crocodile Cam. And here we have the next snake. This is a desert king snake. Scientific name, Lampropeltis splendida. Now, if you take a good look, you can see how beautiful this snake is with that black and gold markings on it. Now, this one's a little bit more skittish than the last one. It has been socialized, but I'm still working on getting it to be handled a little bit better. Now, this one isn't my snake. It was given to me because someone couldn't take care of it anymore, and I am going to be rehoming it to a young man who has been a huge fan of my work, and he doesn't know this yet. It's a surprise from his mom, but he's going to be getting this snake, and as you can see, it's calming down. King snakes make great first snakes for people. Now, you got to be careful. King in any name of a snake means it eats other snakes. King brown snakes, king cobras, and king snakes. So definitely don't ever put them with another snake, even of the same species. These desert king snakes can be found in western parts of the United States, and they can be a good bit bigger than this. I would say this one is a few years old. When I got it, it had a pretty bad case of nose rub. If you guys can look closely there, that white spot or that pink spot on its nose means that it was kept in something far too small than what it should have been. You need to be able to give these animals a good bit of space to explore. All right. Time for the next snake. What's up, you guys? Here we have Casper the corn snake. Scientific name, Pantherophis guttatus. Now, Casper is a phantom morph, and that's why he is white with hints of gray. Usually, corn snakes will be a brilliant orangish yellow color. These snakes can be found almost all over the United States, predominantly in that east and southeast area. They will eat anything that they can overpower. They're non-venomous, and this one here has been socialized very well, which is why I'm not using any of the hooks. Now, I'd like you guys to take a close look at his eyes. You see how they're a beautiful blue color? That means he's about to shed. And because of that, I'm not going to handle him much longer. I'd like for him to not feel any stress and to have a peaceful and a quick shedding process. Time for the next snake. What's up, you guys? This is Cinnamon, the Burmese python. Scientific name, Python bivitatus. Let's take a close look. Now, she was a rehomed snake. A gentleman wasn't able to properly care for her. I believe he was moving or just didn't have space for her or what she would become. So he reached out to me and I was able to take her in. This is the third largest snake in the world. And they are honestly so beautiful and so intelligent. They're native to Southeast Asia, and they can grow to be up to 20 feet long. Now, I would just want to show you guys her beautiful pattern. Now, while she's not a wild morph, meaning this is not exactly how they look in the wild, they're a bit darker, this pattern holds true. This pattern is excellent for camouflage in bushes and in trees for when they're hunting their prey. They're great swimmers and great climbers. And we're going to say bye to her. On to the next snake. What's up, you guys? This is Atlas, the white-lipped python. Now, there are northern and there are southern white-lipped pythons. This one is a northern one. I believe they look a little bit better to me. The southern ones get bigger, though. The scientific name is Leopython albertisi. These beautiful animals can be found on the islands of New Guinea. Now, just take a look at how beautiful they look with this light shining on them. These dark colors help with camouflage, and they are constrictors. So that means when they catch their prey, they're biting it, wham, and they're squeezing it and wrapping it up as tight as they can. Now, this is about the biggest this guy will get, so he won't ever actually be too much of a threat. He came to me because his former owner, who was doing a great job taking care of him, couldn't take him with her where she was moving. I'm honestly so grateful that she reached out to me and trusted me with taking care of him. He's been doing a great job. He's been growing a ton. You can see him flicking his tongue, exploring, smelling all my snake tools. He has had nothing but full sheds, and he's just been doing such a great job. On to the next snake. All right, what's up, you guys? Now, I'm using a hook now, not because this animal isn't socialized, but because she's got some good size on her. And I'd like for you guys to be able to see as much of her beautiful body as you can. This is Medusa, the reticulated python. Scientific name, Malaopython reticulatus. This is the longest, I guess you don't want to use the hooks. This is the longest snake in the world. The longest one ever found, I believe, was about 33 feet. but usually they top out at about 20 to 22 feet. These animals are honestly so beautiful. You can find them in Southeast Asia, and they will eat anything that they can overpower. This is the snake that I've had the longest. She's actually the only snake that I actually purchased. The rest of them were rehomed or rescued from, if you don't come get this snake, I'm going to kill it situations. She is probably my favorite snake that I get to work with, and she is stunning. She just shed, so that's why her skin looks so beautiful and pristine. Now she is about 2.5 to 3 years old, and as you guys can see, she's got some pretty good size on her. They also love to climb and will spend quite a bit of time in the trees, especially while they're young. And they're excellent swimmers as well. Hey, gorgeous. All right, on to the next snake. What's up, you guys? This is Persia, the jungle carpet python. Scientific name, Morelia spilota shanae. Now she has what's called a jaguar morph. In the wild, they would be much darker, and the black parts on her would be yellow, and the yellow parts on her would be black. That helps with camouflage. And you can find these beautiful snakes in Australia. Oftentimes, they will climb onto people's roofs and eat birds that land on them. Now, this is probably the biggest that she'll get. Now, as you can see, she's very active. They love to explore. Oh, you're so beautiful. Now, one thing with this specific morph, which is part of why I don't breed any of my animals, is this specific morph can have neurological issues. Fortunately, she hasn't shown any signs of those neurological issues, but it is something that you want to be wary of. She just shed, which is part of why she looks so beautiful. She loves to explore, and she is socialized extremely well, as you can see here. Again, this is probably about the largest that she'll get, but she's one of my favorite snakes to work with. On to the next snake. What's up, you guys? For this next snake, I'm going to back you guys up just a little bit, and I will be using this snake hook. Now, this one isn't venomous, but it kind of likes to bite. So we're going to play it safe, and I'm going to show you the proper way to work with these animals. Let me go get her. What's up, you guys? This is a red racer, which isn't actually a racer snake. It's a subspecies of the western coach whip. Scientific name, Masticophis flagellum pisceus. This beautiful girl's name is Boo. I have her with a male named Maja. And no, I'm not breeding them, but I found them together, so I decided to keep them together. I got a call. These snakes were on someone's property. Non-venomous, but they did almost bite a kid. And I got the call saying, if you don't come get this animal, I'm going to kill it. So I came and I rescued both of them. And I decided to keep them both as educational tools because many people misunderstand these snakes. I've heard people tell me that they whip people with their tails because they're called coach whips. That's not the case. They just have a whip-like pattern on their tails. I've been told that they chase people because they're really fast. And while they are the fastest snake in North America, they aren't out here chasing people. Now, you can find them in trees, and if you get too close, they may strike at you. But again, they're non-venomous and completely harmless to humans, outside of maybe a little bit of blood. But you can see how she's calmed down. Notice how I'm using the snake. Oh, spoke too soon. Notice how I'm using this snake hook. I'm giving her a place to ground herself where she doesn't feel like she's in danger, but I'm also keeping my hands far enough away to where I'm not in danger either, and I'm not getting bit. On to the next snake. Say bye, you guys. What's up, y'all? This is Hildy, my red-tailed boa constrictor. She is currently the largest of all of the animals that I get to work with. She was given to me in really poor condition. I was told that she was super defensive because snakes can't be aggressive. I was told that she was always trying to strike whenever someone would open her enclosure, and that's because she was kept in a 40-gallon enclosure. And with all the work that I've put in with her, she has become easily the most sociable and docile of all my animals. Now I'm using the hook just so you can see the sheer size that she has. Now you can find these animals in South America. Oh, and they're also pretty common in the pet trade. Now I use her for educational purposes, so that way I can teach you guys two very important lessons. You don't need to be afraid of these animals. All you have to do is respect them. On to the next snake. What's up, you guys? Now it's time to pull out my hot snakes. And what does that mean? Hot is terminology for venomous snakes. I currently work with 3 different species of venomous snakes. Western diamondback rattlesnakes, scientific name Crotalus atrox. Timber rattlesnakes, scientific name Crotalus horridus. And prairie rattlesnakes, scientific name Crotalus viridis. We're going to start with a Western diamondback rattlesnake. Now for that, I'll be using 2 different tools. My snake grabber. I'll be using this because when you use the hook, you still give it a chance to kind of whip around and take a bite at you. Here, my hands will be a safe distance away where I can't be reached. Now, what you want to do when grabbing a snake with a snake grabber, you want to aim towards that upper second third to that lower first third of the body, starting from the head. If you get it in the middle, that's fine. But if you get that upper part, not too close to the head though, you 1, keep the snake from being able to reach you, and you 2, prevent the snake from getting injured as well. Now, these can squeeze pretty tight, but you don't want to do that. You want to have a gentle grip, just like this. That way, the snake is not getting hurt. It's already a potentially stressful situation for the snake. You don't want to make it any worse. Next, I'll be using this. That is really only if the snakes are super, super loud, and I feel like you guys can't hear me. I may just use it to demonstrate how it's done as well. So let's go get the first snake. All right, what's up, you guys? So this right here is a male Western diamondback rattlesnake. And we're gonna slowly let him out onto the table. Now I'd like you guys to notice how I'm just nudging him, right? Keeping him in a place where I can control where he goes, but I'm not causing him any harm, okay? Now his name is Rizza. And as you can see here, oh, he doesn't like that. That got him to quiet down so I could talk a little bit. Now these guys can grow to be kind of big. And everyone thinks, oh, if you're bitten by a rattlesnake, you're gonna die in, 10 minutes. Nope, that's actually not the truth. Their venom is not made for us. It is made for smaller animals. Now, if you're bitten somewhere unfortunate, like on your neck, or they just get that perfect shot right into a vein or an artery, then you definitely have something to worry about very quickly. But most of the time, rattlesnake venom takes anywhere from 2, maybe even 3 days to kill a person, if it even does that. What their venom does, and their venom is hemotoxic, is it attacks your blood cells, your muscular, and your skin tissue, and just slowly starts destroying it. You can find these guys all over the western part of the United States. They can get some good size on them as well. There. Now, they look very similar to eastern diamondback rattlesnakes and even Mojave rattlesnakes. But one way to tell is, remember, grab in the upper third of that body, right? So we're gonna stick my hook in right there. Not too hard to hurt him, but still gentle, or still firm. And I'd like you guys to try and take a look at that tail. Those black and white stripes are a great way to determine a Western diamondback. Now, Mojave rattlesnakes will have those black and white stripes as well. But, you're okay. But Western diamondback rattlesnakes, their stripes are a little bit thicker. Now, we're going to go ahead and put him back. I do have 2 female Western diamondback rattlesnakes, but we're not going to bother them because I feel like he was able to get the message across. All right, hey, do you want to? Oh, and that's how they strike. Super fast, and that's why I don't let my hands get too close, because that was way faster than I could have reacted. Just like that, pumping it full of venom. Let's get the next snake. What's up, you guys? This is the next snake. This is a prairie rattlesnake. Scientific name, Crotalus viridis. Now this one here, and I'm gonna work with her the exact same way that I did the Western diamondback. Keeping her at a safe distance. You saw how fast that strike was. We're not gonna put my hands near her. That's way too fast for me to react. Now, these ones don't get quite as large as the Western diamondbacks do. And this one is a female. Her name is Angel. You're doing a good job, girl. Now, many people think that you can take a look at a rattlesnake's rattle and tell how old it is. And that's actually not the case. Their rattle just tells you how many times they've shed. And the amount of times they've shed relates to how many times they've eaten and how quickly they're growing. And they don't all grow at exactly the same rate. Now you can find these ones here in the western parts of the United States. Their venom isn't as potent as Western diamondback rattlesnakes, but you still don't want to take a bite from one of these. All right. A great way to tell that what kind of snake this is, if you ever run into one in the wild, let's go ahead and grab her on that third part of her body. Nice and gentle so we don't hurt her, but still firm so she can't get away. Take a look at that black right on her tail. That is a great way to identify this snake. That and the almost blockish pattern on her back. Now here, we'll see how she reacts to this. Oops, nice quick strike. And if we want her to be quiet, we can just cover that tail up a little bit, just like that. All right, we're gonna put her up and we're gonna go get the last species. Say bye, girl. What's up, you guys? I hope you've been enjoying this so far. We're down to the last species of snake that I get to work with on a regular basis, the timber rattlesnake. Now, I have 3 of them. They're all juveniles though. So I'm gonna use this to gently take one of them out and show you guys just how beautiful these animals are. Now these ones, before I get started, these ones were born in captivity and the guy didn't have anywhere to put them. They were gifted to me and rehomed because he knows that I know how to properly care for these animals. Now I'm gonna share with you guys how beautiful these animals are and also teach you about how dangerous they can be. What's up, you guys? Look at this little cutie. This here is a timber rattlesnake. Now this one's name is Bianca, and she is absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you don't hear any rattling, that's because she's so young, she hasn't developed enough beads on her rattle to make sound yet. Now, it's a little bit difficult to see, but I'll see if I can get a close view for you guys. Her eyes are a little bit blue, and that means she's gonna shed soon. You can also notice her tail isn't even shaking. Again, they were born in captivity, so they don't understand what a predator is. You're okay, girl. Come on back over here. Nice and gentle. They don't understand what a predator is. So all she knows is that I feed her. And sometimes we'll take her out to handle her. You can see that she's exploring. These snakes are extremely intelligent. She's flicking that tongue, just trying to figure out what's going on. When they shed, their eyesight isn't as good as it usually is, so they're a little bit more nervous. Thankfully, she was born in captivity and she doesn't know what danger is. So all she knows is, my vision's not the best. Let's figure out what's going on. Again, her tail isn't rattling. All she's doing is moving around. Now I'm gonna see if I can show you guys a close-up of her. Ooh. A close-up of her eyes. Maybe you can see the blue. There it is. You can see it a little bit there. Yeah. So, nice and gentle. You're okay, girl. Again, that tail still isn't rattling or shaking very fast. She is going to shed soon. These are beautiful animals. You can find them mainly in the southeastern to just true southern part of the United States, like Texas. We're going to pull her back some. Now, they have neurotoxic venom. And what does that do? Unlike the prairie rattlesnakes and the western diamondback rattlesnakes, this venom attacks your nervous system. You can have muscle spasms and start to really lose control of your body. It will also eat away at your nerves and your muscle tissue, but not nearly as bad as those other snakes. You're okay. Let's bring you on back. Now we're going to put her up. Thank you guys for watching. Crocodile Cam out.